Hello, everyone. Welcome to another issue of Beyond the Cowl podcast. I'm Michael Childers, which I just changed my last name if anyone's curious.
Yeah, and I'm Marcus Arribes. Yeah, that's kind of funny. You change your last name, and you're like, "What? He has two different names."
Yeah, and I started to introduce myself as someone else, and then people are like,
You're
wait
like,
a
"Who is
minute,
this? Who is this imposter? Who is this imposter?"
what is going on? Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, welcome, guys, to
The multiverse.
another week. This is issue number 12. We're basically going to be going into a couple things of news and then wrapping up with the last couple of issues, wrapping up the full series of Future State for next Batman, and possibly talking a little bit about Dark Detective, especially in that last issue. First and foremost, from new news, the biggest thing right now that everyone's talking about is we finally got the title for the new Spider-Man movie.
Man, I think there was a lot of speculation on that, and they kind of had their little funny way with it. So,
Yeah, so
I thought that was interesting.
so Tom Holland, I probably gonna pronounce her name wrong. Zendaya, the co-star who plays Mary Jane,
Right.
and then Jacob, but I'm terrible with names. But Talion, who plays his best friend in the movie, they basically. So I don't follow the other two on social media, but Tom Holland posted a thing saying it's finally here, and he posted a thing to Spider-Man Phone Home. But then the other two co-stars also posted something that said like Spider-Man Home Slice and Spider-Man Home Wrecker, all home themes. And it's funny
Right.
because I saw this and I started looking into it, and all these people have these crazy fan theories. Like Phone Home is like an homage to Andrew Garfield playing on his phone as Spider-Man. Home Slice is when Tobey Maguire comes in with a box of pizzas in Spider-Man 2. And then Home Wrecker is Tom Holland Spider-Man. So people are speculating that these are like little kind of movie nod or little movie Easter eggs to talk about each individual Spider-Man. There's no
Right.
official trailers, nothing official that says that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are part of the project. I think it's just fans are really hoping for it. But they just released today a whole thing of them coming out of like the studio and being like, man, I can't believe they tricked us again. And I wonder why they did that. And the other co-stars are like, well, yeah, you spoil everything, Tom Holland. And as they're walking by, there's a whiteboard and it says Spider-Man No Way Home for the title for the movie. So now we know what the title is.
Yeah. When I first heard what was it, Phone Home, I thought it made me think of E.T.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, you see the little home slice, and you see them bumping fists right there. I thought that was cool. It's something to play around with, and of course, the fans and everybody jumps into speculation mode and tries to, even if they weren't even trying to say anything about, in regards to dropping Easter eggs, you have fans that are going to speculate on any little news or movement, or even this kind of you know gesture towards making fun or showing in light of the trailer, or the not the trailer but the title.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm all down for a multiverse 3 Spider-Man movie. But I mean, all we know so far about Spider-Man is that Tom Holland has come out and said this is going to be the most ambitious and, in his opinion, probably the best Spider-Man movie he's done out of his 3. So I'm super excited. It comes out December of this year. So we will be getting it this year.
Yeah, that's yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see moving forward, where they take the title and how they connect it with the larger Marvel universe. Since since they have the property back now of Spider-Man.
And I mean, like, DC's doing this whole thing, right, where they're establishing a multiverse. So, like, why wouldn't Marvel do that? I mean, I feel so ashamed. I'm not caught up on WandaVision. So I know WandaVision is starting to really dive into that whole multiverse concept and more thickening it up. I haven't caught up on it. I know the season finale for WandaVision is happening in a couple weeks. So I'm like, I need to watch it. I need to catch up. Maybe that's what I'll do today. Maybe instead of going comic book shopping and going hunting, I might catch up on WandaVision. I need to
I was
go get some new issues.
I was super disappointed because I thought I heard, or it was announced that Kevin Feige was like, the last, 3 or 4, whatever, the last episodes are gonna be an hour long, and I was super excited to go watch it. I was like, ooh, we're gonna get an hour this time instead of, a quick 30 minutes, because it just feels like they're, at the end of each one, it leaves you kind of like on almost somewhat of a cliffhanger and what leaves you wanting more. And then now I was like so excited to be getting an hour, and then seeing the last one, it was only like 38 minutes, I think. I was like, "Ugh," I thought Feige said they were gonna be hours, but I guess not. Um, but yeah, it's super cool. I like where they're going with it. They've been good to me so far, especially once you get, I think, like I mentioned earlier, past the first two, they start getting really good, and they start going a little bit more in depth as far as what's really going on, and you see something cool happen with um this Monica Rambo in this last issue, which I think is going to be interesting. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'll let you watch that. And you know what? I was super excited to watch. I wanted to watch Superman and Lois. It came out yesterday, but I have
Yes.
it on Roku. But they're not releasing it till today. But I can't. I'm not going to watch it today because I'm going to save it for when I can watch it with my wife at night.
Yeah.
Um, but I was super excited to watch that, and then I go try to turn it on, and they say, "Oh, it's not being released till today,"
Where
which is a day later.
where is it being released on Roku?
On the CW, you just have to download
Oh, the
that
CW.
app.
Okay, you got to do the
Yeah.
CW app because I wasn't sure if it was gonna be coming out on Hulu or if it's gonna be like because like I'm trying to think if I want to wait. I really want to watch it because it looks really good. Like the trailer was good. I saw a little clip from the first episode today, and Tyler Hoechlin, who plays Clark in this rendition of Superman, the show, it just looks really good. And I like that they're like Superman has like two sons already. They have a whole family, and it's more like gonna be more family focused. But like now we're getting more of an established, and the internet's freaking out because like the suit he wears in the first episode isn't like it's more like a Christopher Reeve style suit where it's like the tight like blue spandex. So it's not like sprayed on muscles like he wore in Superman or sorry, in his appearance in Supergirl. So it's everyone's super stoked 'cause it's more like more like looks real than it does very movie CG. Like I think they were trying to do the Henry Cavill suit where it's all shiny, but this one's just like a blue with like the black and red logo with the yellow outline on top of the chest. So it's like a lot of like action comics uh themed or inspiration for his costume, but it looks super good though.
Yeah, so I can't wait to watch it, and maybe we can talk about it later once we both watch it. Yeah, but it's I think it's cool how they're starting to connect the CW. Now we see recently we got a casting for Supergirl in the Flash film. So
Did you watch the
I think
did you watch the director his little live video when he told her?
no, I didn't watch it, but I heard it's going pretty viral on social media where a lot of people are what happened.
So basically he calls her and they're talking and he goes, "Hey, so I want to, he in summer he basically was like, I want to let you know that you're going to be our new Supergirl, the Flash." And she freaks out and she goes, "Wait, are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah, you got it. Like you're going to be Supergirl." And I forgot how he says it. He basically was like, "Hey, like how do you think this will look on you?" And he shows like the Supergirl like suit and stuff like that, and she's like, "What?" And she like freaks out. And so he goes, "Yeah, I just want to call in person and let you know." So I thought it was kind of cool because they really leaned into like the whole live thing of like getting her live reaction to being told she was casted. I looked her up because I thought to myself, okay, like where have I seen her before? Where have I seen this Sasha actress at? And she was on Young and the Restless. That was like where a lot of her acting credits came from. So I think it's kind of cool that they're kind of resourcing an actress who is kind of from not from like the normal background, not like pulling in someone that's like super popular. And I think that's good because we've seen a lot of good outcomes. We're like picking out like more or less unknown actors to do these amazing roles because they end up giving it more and they end up like doing way better. In
Yeah,
my
and
in my
this
opinion.
yeah, I think so. I agree with you on that. And I mean, this movie's been in the works for a long time. I think since somewhere around 2015. So we're finally seeing casting being done, and um, it looks like it says Supergirl is the latest addition to a Flash film that is expected to draw from Flashpoint in feature. multiversal elements. This includes multiple Batman, including Keaton and Affleck. So
Mm-hmm.
it looks like they're gonna be pulling from the Flashpoint storyline, and I think Cyborg was Ray Fisher was written out of this movie.
Yeah.
Um, and then you had Ezra Miller going, you know, I don't remember if you seen that. Do you remember that incident with Ezra Miller and some girl? I think it was on the
No,
float or something like that.
I have never seen that, but my coworker from this past weekend, we were talking about the Supergirl being casted. He goes, "Hey, have you seen Ezra Miller like choking out a fan and like slamming him to the ground?" I was like, "What?" And I thought it was like for a second I thought he was trying to say it was like some sort of like sketch video or something like that. And he goes, "No, no, no. It was like a real fan was like bugging him and he like grabbed her by like the throat and like pushed her or did something like that." No, I did not see this. I literally just heard this like 3 days ago.
Yeah, so I don't know. I seen the video. I can't remember. It was a little while back. I just remember thinking like I don't know if this is real or if this is like fake or whatever. But obviously there was a bunch of backlash for it. So it must have been real to a certain extent, and but obviously not enough backlash to get him off the film. So maybe that was another reason for delay in the film because they
Oh,
wanted this kind of
maybe.
pass over
Well,
before they continued.
yeah, because like right now, like they're going after definitely any little thing on social media. Like Gina, I can't pronounce her last name.
Carano,
Yeah, she got banned.
Carano.
She got booted from Mandalorian, and so they had a show wrapped around her character and that whole, like almost like the Navy SEALs of the Republic, almost like I think it was called Star Wars Rangers, and she was supposed to be one of like the main focuses as her character. Well, now boom, plucked her out. Then people are of course being like, well, Pedro Pascal also made similar comments, but more for a different political view. All this stuff, but yeah, it's like movies are getting delayed because people are making these social media things, capturing on video because everyone has a camera and posting it about that. I'm actually looking up the Ezra Miller thing right now because yeah, you're the second person that mentioned that to me in this week.
Yeah, I remember when it happened. Like I said, I didn't even know if it was real or not, but obviously it was. So, and with social media, you have information gets flown out there like instantly. So when something like that happens and it's recorded, of course, the public is is going to be made aware of it in an instant. So that's just the way social media works nowadays, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess you got to kind of be careful what you post, especially if you're a public figure. You have to watch what you say and watch what you do and watch what you post. So
Yeah, well, that's why a lot of these big actors, right? They have like PR firms. They have people who have to clear what you post before you post it. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of these issues we get from like content creators, writers, and all that stuff. They become big public figures are things they wrote like 12 years ago, like before they were really famous. Like maybe they had a small following, but nothing to how they are now, like where they're actually like public influencers and people just dig 10, 15 years ago and pull something out and be like, whoa, remember when Marcus said that he thought that Batman looked like a sissy? And then all of a sudden it's like you're getting prosecuted because you said the word sissy 15 years ago.
yeah, and I mean, people will find things, of course, and take things out of context, in some regards, but it's just hard to do or say anything without having any kind of repercussion, especially with cancel culture.
Yeah.
These days and the SJWs uh, out there everywhere. But I mean, you have a voice, and sometimes I feel like you're free to say what you want as long as you're not hurting anybody. But
Hmm.
people are quick to jump on what you think of as an opinion, so it's almost like you can't even have an opinion anymore.
Yeah.
Or you have to be careful what you say in regards to your own opinion. So
Yeah. I mean, literally, like
it is what it is.
what I like telling people, and of course, we got to make this comic book related, but having a voice on social media and having that ability to kind of say what you want, it's like Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility. So that applies to people who are social influencers, and there's also people who are the ones who follow them. This is a great responsibility to have, to be able to have good like discourse, but then also, just realize that, everyone's a person, people make mistakes. But speaking though of Flash, if we're since we're stepping into DC, because this wouldn't be a a a first part of our series, if you will, of Beyond the Cowl if we didn't have any Zack Snyder talk. Because right now we're Zack Snyder crazy. Two things. One, I think it's
Right.
crazy that he took zero salary for Justice League Zack Snyder cut. He took zero
Oh, I
profit.
know, that's wild.
His exchange was
But
no salary, but I want full creative control. That's why we got like a redone of Steppenwolf. We got the whole Joker scene. I
mm,
mean, it's a whole thing. People are wanting the whole Dream Sequence series for HBO Max, and I think that would be really bitchin'.
yeah, that would definitely be cool, and I think that says speaks a lot in regards to the creative freedom that maybe directors or producers have in DC films when you have a director producer like Zack Snyder that's willing to sacrifice, spend all this time and all his effort and all his energy into a project. It says that he believes in it. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just that kind of makes me more excited to watch the film when you have somebody like that behind it, where they're like, you know what, give me the creative freedom, and I'll work for free.
Yeah, and then also
So
people are also freaking out because I I couldn't find anything recent that specifically stated that this will for sure happen, but people are saying that there's going to be a big cameo at the end of Justice League that's going to be crazy. I think it's Manhunter. Like we'll actually see Martian Manhunter in full costume. But some people were saying that it was Green Lantern. That Green Lantern was going to appear at the end of the movie for Justice League. Uh, Unfortunately, Ryan Reynolds already came out and tweeted, "Well, that would be a cool idea, but I'm going to leave the computer costume in the closet." So there's no Green Lantern appearance in Justice League. And then another really kind of cool thing about the movie that people are talking about is that Zack Snyder is dedicating the movie to his daughter who passed away, which was the main reason why he left the project to begin with when he was in the middle of filming it, was because he had to attend to his daughter.
right, and Green Lantern, I think, is a huge property that they can expand and build a whole universe off of, kind of like Star Wars, because you have the Red Lantern Corps, the White Lantern Corps, the Yellow Lantern Corps. It's just so big, and I think it's a world that if they once they tap into, if they do it right, they can expand out the DC universe in such a way, like just kind of like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I think it's a huge opportunity that they're missing, but I think it's only a matter of time before, you know, they start to go that direction because Green Lantern has such a huge following too that um, the money's there as long as the direction and the film are done well. But
So,
that's like saying with any film or movie.
do you think Green Lantern would be more successful as a show or more successful as a feature film?
Oh,
And and also
I think that
the follow up question
I think as a yeah, yeah, go ahead.
is: do you want to see another Hal Jordan or do you want to see a John Smith?
Uh, John Stewart.
John Stewart. I'm sorry. Yeah, John Stewart, not John Smith. John Stewart.
Yeah, and you have Kyle Rayner. You have a bunch of Green Lanterns, but and you have the new one. I think you have to go with a series because I don't think you can tell a great story. Well, you can, but the universe for Green Lantern is so big that I feel like it's gonna be like a Snyder cut type of thing where you have to go in series, where it's just you have such a big story that you need to tell that it's gonna take a lot of film time. Where you can uh, build and develop and kind of create that universe of the Green Lantern. I think you have to go with series on that one.
Yeah, I agree. Like, because then you can introduce, like, if you have one, even if you have like a lesser known Green Lantern, or if you create your own Green Lantern, then that Green Lantern can interact with all these famous John Stewart, Hal Jordan, and then you can kind of create your own in the sense like how they created their own Ezra Jedi. I forgot his last name, but the Jedi Ezra from Star Wars Rebels. How they completely created their own him. He's now become so canon that people are wanting to see him on the big screen. They want to see him in the Ahsoka series. They want to see him in Mandalorian. Um, I think that'd be cool. I liked Green Lantern. The movie was super cheesy, but I thought it was such a cool concept, and I'm shocked that they've been focusing more on rebooting Justice League, redoing Batman so many times, which I love Batman. I'm not complaining, but Green Lantern could be DC's like kind of lesser known character that they can bring it back, do it well, and boom, start putting DC on the track of like recovery mode of like getting back on track of being like reputable for having good movies or a good series.
Yeah, yeah. Give me John Favreau on Green Lantern Corps series.
Oh, God, that's what DC needs. DC needs to find their John Favreau. They thought it was Zack Snyder after Man of Steel. It had Christopher Nolan, which was literally has been the only person who's really been able to do a good success for any movies. And I'm not including animated movies because animated movies are really good, but they're not, they're not, no, that's the thing right now. The market isn't demanding good animation, besides Into the Spider-Verse. They want good, like real life feature films.
Right.
They need to find their John
Um,
Favreau.
yeah, I think, or at least a Kevin Feige, because he kind of intermingles that whole universe, so that way it's all kind of in continuity. And that's what he does well. So DC's kind of seems like they try, but they don't know how to, or they don't do it the right way, where they try to connect their universes. But I mean, they've had better, they have more success just not trying to connect it to things to a bigger universe. But I think
Mm-hmm.
you have to go that route, um, if you want to be a little bit more successful, where you need to connect things, and make each and every film matter as part of a whole.
Right. Like more on DC film news where they're confirming that we're going to be getting a Blue Beetle movie. So maybe that's what they're trying to do is do like how Iron Man was and Thor, which weren't really popular in the media mainstream. So maybe they're picking a character that's popular in the animated movies like Young Justice, um, and pulling it and making it into a good film. And they're going to do the Jaime Reyes, who's Blue Beetle. They're thinking of possibly doing like the Young Justice origin because he's had his origin redone multiple times in his series, but that's kind of the most concrete one. It covers a teenage kid who gets into like a laboratory freak accident, who gets a special ability, which is the scarab, which
Scarab.
which
Yeah.
gets hooked onto his spine, and then he has to learn how to control this AI, which that's the issue, that's the challenge, right? That's him learning his ability. Finds the enemy from the Reach, which is the Black Beetle. Black Beetle comes, he overcomes it, learns how to control AI, boom, beats Black Beetle, boom, there's your movie. So it has all the elements to like a good teenage superhero setup to possibly do, multiple movies, see this young character grow into like a bigger character that could really help bring back the DC movie, the DCEU back into it. So I'm actually interested to see what more developments we get for Blue Beetle.
Right. It kind of makes me think of Ant-Man. Um,
Hmm.
when I
Mm-hmm.
first heard Ant-Man was gonna, there was rumors of the movie coming out, and I think I first heard rumors about Blue Beetle like somewhere around 2018. And then they kind of went away, and then we just got big news again with, um, them, them casting a director, or a director tied to the Blue Beetle movie. And you kind of see this movement towards the Latino crowd, because now you have the first Latina cast as Supergirl, and now we're going to be seeing a Blue Beetle Latino kind of film. So it looks like their DC is going towards the Latino uh, crowd, if you will. So
Yeah, they can definitely do that with so many different characters too. For Titans 3, I forgot, God, and I'm terrible with this. I forgot the actor's name, but they hired this kid to be not Tim Fox, Tim Drake in the new Titans season 3, which they have no like dates on when Titans 3 is going to be coming out, but but they're trying to show more of a diverse. I mean, Batgirl is African American, so there's definitely starting to bring in a lot of diverse characters, or at least actors, to play these signature characters, which I think is fantastic. I think that's a smart move.
Yeah, it opens up a little bit more of a world as far as the audience, as well as people that already were into comic books and comic movies. So I think it just lends the hand to people, a bigger crowd relating to a character, and being able to see themselves in that character. So it's going to be interesting to see, nonetheless.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of the big things on like other movie news I've heard is all been WandaVision, but I'm not caught up. So we'll have to check that out the next issue. But
Right.
what I did do today is I finished Dark Detective, and I finished Next Batman. And have you read Next Batman Second Son yet? It just came out. I think it came out the 23rd.
Yeah, I haven't read that one yet. I just been busy reading all the future state books.
Hmm.
Um, I know the premise of it though. It's surrounding I think Jace, or
Yeah.
is it Tim Fox?
So, so basically, how we were talking about how like the big issue with Tim Fox is like, who is he? Like, where did he get this training from? I think Second Son's gonna dive into that. I won't ruin it for you. It's just the first book, super short. I'll probably go get that book just because I want to have. I want to start collecting the series that we might be getting his like actual origin, besides him just appearing as Batman, and kind of understanding that we gotten from previous books from the Joker Wars and the Batman series on like how Jace gets to it. What I don't understand is why Luke hates that they call him Jace so much.
Yeah, that's
Like,
I don't know why either, but I kind of hate they call him Jace, but
I think Jace is kind of
I
sick,
don't know the reason.
but because everyone in the
Yeah,
family calls him Jace, and he's always like, and we see it in Dark in the final book for it's called Final, the final one in Next Batman. He the family calls him Jace, and he's like, I don't know why he gets everything that he wants. Um, but yeah, but
right.
we can dive into. Did you read the fourth book for Next Batman yet?
Yeah, I read all of them. I don't, like I said, I didn't take notes, so I don't know. I don't kind of remember all the details off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I read both of them, Doctor Detective and the Next Batman,
Yeah.
the series finales. And
Overall,
actually, did you see there was news on Batman Black and White #3? I think that just came out this week. We get a new Robin, which is Tiffany Fox.
oh no, I did not see that. No, I didn't see that. I've only read I read Batman in Black and White issue 1. I didn't read issue 2 yet. I think the whole Black and White series is really interesting. But no, I didn't see that though. Issue number 3?
Yeah, issue #3 is supposed to be the debut. So I haven't read it either. I just seen it on social media, of course, when any new character comes out. Obviously, everybody's talking about it. So haven't read it yet, but I am aware of the
Nice.
character.
Well, I think tomorrow I'm going to go tomorrow morning I'm going to go hit up 2 or 3 different shops for comic books. I want to get trying to get snacks and variant covers, and I do want to get the last issue for Dark Detective and Next Batman. Maybe I'll pick up
Yeah,
the first 3 issues of Black and White also. But no, I didn't know that. New Robin, sweet.
yeah. So
But overall,
building
though,
their universe.
yeah, I'm super excited for that. Overall, for Next Batman final issue of the 4 issue series in Future State, did you like it? Did you not like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I like Dark Detective too. It just leaves a lot open, kind of ended. You don't know. You don't see if Bruce Wayne or not Peacekeeper one is dead or not. You just see the explosion in the building and Bruce taking out that building, which was interesting. Um, so I liked it. I wonder if they're going to continue the storyline and where they're going to go with it. I know we're going to be getting the origin of Peacekeeper in the Batman books after Future State ends, so it's going to be definitely interesting to see. Um, and yeah, I liked. We learned that um, Noah's daughter. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but
Hannah.
she's supposed to be, yeah, Hannah. She's supposed to be a programmer for the magistrate, and you kind of see that play out, and how she actually helps Bruce Wayne in the end.
Yeah, it's I for Dark Detective, I book number 4 wasn't my favorite book. I liked the first two books. Actually, I like the first three a lot more. I feel like they kind of. I didn't like
Right.
that. I didn't like you said. I didn't like that they left it open ended. Like I was so excited to see how everything was gonna finally pan out. How is Bruce gonna recover and finally take down the magistrate? And it kind of just leaves with this giant explosion, and then it just ends. And then literally for that book, the best part, honestly, for me, was the Red Hood side story. I like that way more than the actual ending to Dark Detective.
Yeah, I didn't read the second the backup story. But I know we're gonna be getting that red, Future State Gotham, and the Red storyline continued. So,
Yeah.
I know the first backup story that we ended off, there was an alert out for Jason Todd.
Hmm.
But didn't get a chance to read that backup one.
Yeah, that one was really good. It's super quick. It gets it all cleared up. So basically, when I was complaining about all these different questions of Future State Gotham being having Red Hood, like what are they gonna do? It kind of
Right.
cleared up a lot of my questions that I had. I'll let you read it
Okay.
because it's pretty good. Super simple, quick and easy. Um, but yeah, overall, I think Dark Detective 4 for me was my least favorite of the four issues.
Right. Yeah, it just kind of makes me feel like DC's almost waiting for the fan reaction to see where they go with it. Like if they're gonna keep Peacekeeper One alive, or if they're gonna announce him dead or whatnot. It just kind of, I get that feeling where DC's waiting on the fans to really say what direction they're gonna go with
Yeah.
the ending of how that all played out.
Yeah, I personally, I
So
think I would keep him. He's such a good character. I mean, or don't decide his fate until his origin comes out, and then really see if there's a fan connection to Peacekeeper One.
yeah, the last issue really made me think a lot more that it was Ghostmaker.
Hmm.
But like I said, I'm still not sure
No, I don't know.
who
So,
exactly he is.
but it was a short issue. I feel like for Future State, a lot of the alternating issues are one's longer than the other. One will give more story than the other one will give more background story. So I was kind of bummed that this one was kind of short and kind of literally cut to just like the ending, like just right when Hannah figures out that spoiler alert, by the way, if anyone hasn't read this book yet, when Hannah finds out that Bruce Wayne is Batman, she makes that final connection. She goes, "Wait, Bruce Wayne is," and then a couple panels later, boom, and the issue's done,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, okay,
Well, you have only 4 issues to tell a this whole elaborate story with the whole magistrate and wrap it up. And you have backup stories in the book where you probably could have made that whole book just the next Batman title. So it's a little difficult to wrap up a story and try and be intricate when you only have 4 issues to do so.
yeah,
Um, so, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see, what kind of origin that they give Peacekeeper, if he's already a character that we know, or if it's a totally brand new character. I James Tynion is in control of some of the Batman books, the main Batman book, and it's he's been creating a lot of new characters. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a totally new character, just because, like I said, he's already created Clown Maker or Clown Clown Hunter, Ghost Maker, the Designer, Underbroker, Punchline. Now we get a Miracle Molly coming up.
mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a lot of speculation as in regards to who is exactly Peacekeeper One, just because he's had so much involvement in the Batman books in Future State. Like I said, we'll see.
Yeah. So, other than Dark Detective 4, what'd you think of next Batman number 4? Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. Wasn't great. I thought like you said, for Dark Detective, the first issues were a little bit better, just because you don't know where it's going, and then they wrap it up. It's kind of hard to keep that desire going when you have to wrap up a story. When you just want to keep the interest, the mystery, and the speculation and the interest alive. It's kind of hard to do so when you have to wrap it up in, a limited amount of issues. So,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about it?
I liked it. It wasn't issue number 2, still my favorite issue. Um, because we get kind of more of Jace kind of being more himself. I will say though, my favorite thing though about the entire series is hearing Jace's banter with like enemies and stuff like that, and how he talks as his own Batman. I think his style and like his way he talks to people is just like really good. I think it suits his character. It definitely distinguishes the Tim Fox versus the Bruce Wayne kind of like the way they talk. So it definitely gives you that different feel of a Batman. You know, I love that he always will do something and he'll ask himself like, would it have the real Batman mess this up? Because that's Jace. Jay, I always mess things up. Like, so he has his own little like personal self pity and things that he does that makes him question if he's doing good as Batman. I thought the story was kind of cool. I like the ending where the detective shoots him in the chest. She goes, "Is that bullet armor?" He goes, "Most of it is."
Yeah.
And then she shoots him. She goes, "I'm just doing my job." And then that's how the series ends. But like I said, I think my favorite thing about this book was probably the ending where Tim Fox has his mom coming out and he had to throw a batarang to disarm her from shooting
Oh,
him.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And then he lets his anger out on that soldier that was sent by Peacekeeper One, where he literally wanted to brutally kill him because he's like, because of you, I had to hurt my own mom. And then you see him having that
Yeah.
struggle in the hospital of like balancing. You know, the mom's like, Batman, you know, we need to basically we need to kill him because he represents vigilantes and we don't need them in our city. And she's literally talking shit about Batman, and unbeknownst, you know, none. What's the word?
Unbeknownst.
Yes, to her that her son is Batman. So, you know, he has to take this negative criticism about being Batman and he has to swallow it and hold it down while trying to comfort his mom. So I think it's cool that, you know, we're getting two sides, you know, we're getting more of the Tim Fox background story of like family doesn't like him. Luke immediately thinks that he's doped up or on liquor, so he's had like a troubled past. But then you see him doing so good as Batman. I like that. I like good character development. My biggest thing with Batman has always been a good Bruce Wayne is just as important as a good Batman.
Yeah, and then you get a real kind of tug on your heartstrings kind of moment when you see one of the perpetrators sacrifice themselves so that his loved one can get safely to the GCPD. So I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah, yeah. That whole couple was was definitely frustrating, but it was crazy because the guy, you know, was trying to save. They had good reasons too, and you know, the couple kind of represents a lot of how probably how a lot of the citizens are feeling in Gotham. How they're feeling like they need to take things into their own hand because the magistrate is, you know, really more focusing on the masked vigilantes. Oh, that's another thing too about Dark Detective. I forgot to mention, kind of jumping back real quick, was that you finally discover the magistrate's plan, and their plan is basically to instill their own justice through constant surveillance.
Right. They have these nano drones, cloak nano drones everywhere, and the public doesn't really realize that they're being watched everywhere. Um,
And
and that was interesting to see where Hannah has all these recordings and all this information in regards to what exactly a magistrate is doing in Gotham.
mm-hmm,
So I that was an interesting part of that book. And you know what confused me on the next Batman? In the first issue, we seen Chubb talking to her ex-partner or something like that, talking about somebody helping perpetrators commit a crime and get away as long as they committed the crime and they disappeared. We never seen any other part of that, I guess, that scheme being
yeah,
explored in the book. Not that I can recall off the top of my head. So it was,
she makes
why
a
would they waste
uh,
pages on on that kind of um setting something up like that when it goes nowhere?
well. They she mentions and I can't remember what she called that first partner in issue one. I did think about that though because she said something about at the end. Someone mentioned something about Batman did something to your partner Whitaker, but it
Yeah.
wasn't dived in more to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are left unanswered.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, that's what you get when you have to. just tell the story in a really condensed amount of time and issues. So
Yeah.
it
Well,
is what it is.
I mean, we'll be seeing a lot more Tim Fox in Batman Second Son. Overall, the greatest thing that next Batman gave us is the Bane Litos.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that.
Like Bane
The
Litos
Bailitos.
and Arkham Knights are probably Arkham Knights. Yeah, Arkham Knights came in.
Yeah,
Yeah, they came in next Batman. That's probably the two
next.
greatest things that we got from the 4 issue series.
Yeah, I'm hoping they continue the Arkham Knight storyline somewhere. Um, I know it's spawned out of Detective Comics, but we'll see. That's just my hope, and I hope the Bailitos are brought back out as well. But that's yet to be seen. I know there's a lot of unknown with the direction at DC right now, so we'll have to wait and see and hope and pray, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be getting some. They'll be taking a step away from Future State for the summer. Definitely going to Batman and Superman 79, 89.
Right.
Definitely going back into the original Batman story with all the new appearances of new characters, the new Robin, or new Robin story, new Robin in black and white. So it's going to be interesting to kind of take a little bit of a break from that. I think for Dark Detective, we'll start seeing a lot of setup to his story and other issues and other Gothamite issues. But I mean, hopefully they'll develop it a little bit more. If not, then oh well. That was a very medium story for a character.
Yeah,
But
agree.
But you guys let us know on all our social medias what you like and dislike. Do you agree? Did you like Next Batman? Did you like Dark Detective? Anything with the movie news? Do you think a Green Lantern series would be better than a Green Lantern feature films? You can find us on all our social medias. Instagram, we're going to be Beyond the Cowl. Twitter is Beyond the Cowl. And make sure to let us know down in the comment section. Like I always say, if you made it this far, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and just let us know what you think about our opinions.
Yeah, and to the two of you, not including myself and you, Michael, that made it this far, we want to sincerely thank you for watching and thank you for your time. And spread the love around. You never know what somebody else might be going through at this point in time. So that's what we leave you with.
Yes. Until next time, be safe and we'll see you next issue.
Have a good one, everybody.